Modafinil is in.
Again.
Yeah.
I did one, when did I do one? I had a podcast with Milos, and I thought, fuck it, I'm tired. So I dropped one. And I still slept like a baby.
What time did you do that?
That would have been probably like 4 or 5 o'clock I did it.
Fuck. And you still slept?
Yeah, like a baby.
Jesus.
So you just must have like a really
They must have been fake.
high tolerance to them. But when I took 2, I told you I was like...
Yeah. Hit you for 6.
Yeah.
They're decent, like. I use them for the edit days. When I've got that day in the office, just to go straight in and log in.
Oh, that was the day I did the sauna. So I finished the podcast, I fucking smashed out the sauna. I think I put some Christmas tree lights up.
Oh, so you were much more productive.
Did a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Still knackered.
Shall we start? Shall I do the intro for this one?
Yeah, go
You
for it,
did the
Jay.
last, didn't you?
Go for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Beautiful Struggle podcast with myself and the Giant. How are you doing, bro?
Yo, I'm all good.
Yeah.
Busy, but...
Flat out. I turned up and he's having some guy tiling his kitchen.
He's tiling the kitchen. We've gone for what was a good idea at the time. So we've gone for gold tiles,
Yep.
but then scattered sparkly gold tiles.
In
So
between.
just like throwing here and there, like
Yeah.
at random.
Definitely Katie's input, that is.
But then Katie's like, oh, well, it looks too random. I'm like, what do you mean it looks too random? Well, it looks odd. It needs to be like in a uniformed pattern. Well, that's not random
That's
then,
not
is
random, no. Missing the point.
So we've managed to get we got basically 16 sparkly tiles versus like 80 gold plain tiles. We've managed to make a pattern of sorts from these 16 tiles. So
that's like 1 every 8 or something.
oh man, it's
Do the
something
maths.
ridiculous, yeah. But this man this morning, he came and he was like, didn't know how to remove tiles. And I thought, well, it's generally the job for a tiler, isn't it, to remove them. Like he thought he was coming to a fresh wall, whack the tiles on, be home by dinner, he said. I was like, no, that's not the case.
You wanted an early finish on a Monday morning.
Yeah, and then the other wall he's got to do is around a window, and he was like, you could see his face, it was one of them. What have I fucking got here?
Yeah.
Not happy.
Bloody hell. So like the day that I come up for us to do 2 podcasts, you got the tiler in and you're getting ready to go to Vegas for the Olympia.
Yes.
So anything else you want to throw at yourself just to make it a bit more difficult on a
Well,
Monday?
I thought I had the chimney sweep man here as well, doing the log burner, but luckily he's not here.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah. So, no, I think we're all good, mate. We're going to crack these
Yes.
episodes out.
Yeah, because the last one, when I came to editing it, I laid all the clips out in Premiere Pro, to anyone that knows about editing, and it was 1 hour, 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I just sat back and I thought, you bunch of cunts. Because we don't realise how much we can talk when we get going. Obviously, we've got a rough kind of idea of the topics that we're talking about, and then we just start chatting, and obviously modafinil and rain. Do you want to tell them about the? Do you want to tell them about the
I
rain?
don't know, because I don't want to get... okay, so I'm going to say... I'm going to say a certain person.
Well, a certain person.
Because a certain person
You'll
might
know
not
who
want to be named.
You'll know who he is
The certain person knows who he is.
if he's still watching.
He wasn't happy with Jay's choice of energy drinks. Basically, he's had a fallout with some people in Monster.
Yeah.
So we've got rain this week. Let it rain.
I went to a shop specifically to get them on the way up. I was like, we need to get... I was saying to Sarah, if you can hear clicking, by the way, we've got Sarah behind the scenes today doing some images for us. So I was like, I need to get rain. So I pulled over to the services, went for a piss, forgot the rain.
Yes.
So I had to go to a shop specially. So yeah, we've got rain now. Other energy drinks are available.
Yeah, well, seeing as my mutant sponsor, I'm saving my supplements till I train later on today, so I'm not having it all in now. But if you want pre-workout,
I'm just doing it all.
Good.
I'm just doing it all.
Yeah,
the
Jay's
caffeine.
got caffeine, modafinil. We just had a coffee. The new espresso machine, Jay, how's it going? Is it like the levels of raising?
Every time I come, it's getting better and better.
The bar's
I'm
raising.
not. I didn't see him make this one though, so I wasn't sure whether Katie's made it.
It was me. Kate's gone.
Or the Tyler.
She's got out of the way because the Tyler's loud, drilling the tiles off. Both kids are in bed ill. So yeah, it's a busy time.
Very busy.
On that note as well, you mentioned timing of the podcast. It just made me think.
Yep.
Feedback, putting the questions in the comments,
Yes.
feedback on how we're doing, good or bad, pros and cons,
Yeah.
ideas for future podcasts, ideas for guests, and why you're at it, like it. Because if you don't, me and Jay are going to be after you. and you don't want a Welshman after you at Christmas.
We'll send the boys round. We did have some feedback. I think it was on the last one saying, can we turn Giant's mic volume up?
Yes.
We didn't turn it up. We just moved it closer to him. So
it's closer.
Because he's on the sofa, obviously he's a bit chilled out, and he had to just sit a bit closer to the mic. So hopefully that sounds a little bit cleaner.
Fingers crossed.
My mic is definitely working now, but I forgot to switch it on once again. Thanks to the Giant for sorting that out.
The only technical thing I'm good at, making sure the mic's on.
I'm there for like 30-40 minutes setting the cameras up, making sure the lighting's all good, and then I can't even fucking switch mic on. But yeah, going back to the last podcast, hour 50 minutes long. We are capping these now at 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you see the timeline on YouTube at the bottom and you see over 60 minutes, then feel free to call us out on fucking Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
So a couple of topics we've got in mind for today. I think the main one being is the placebo effect.
Yeah.
You've touched on this a little bit in your vlogs, haven't you?
Yeah, the older I get, the more I kind of focus on it. The more I believe in it.
Yeah.
Placebo effect, not just for like training, but for life in general, you know, for well-being, for immunity. I feel like I believe that your immune system is connected to your neuro pathways to the way you think. You know, I always think that in a prep, you're so focused on moving forwards, you never really get ill. But most people get ill after a prep.
Yeah.
When they relax.
Yeah.
And it's not really their body that relaxes, it's their mind. They're relaxed like there's no next goal, so it's like, and then they get ill. I do believe that the mind is obviously so powerful, but it's connected to this. Milos says all the time, what your mind thinks, your body follows.
Yeah, you just say that in the video, actually.
Yeah. And it's so true.
Yeah. Is it superstition, or is it... Can you class it as superstition, placebo effect?
I don't know, because let's talk about this study that was done on people that eat certain foods, right? So people say a calorie is a calorie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 1 calorie is 1 calorie, but 1 calorie of something versus 1 calorie of something else is 2 different calories, which is another subject in itself.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point I'm going to make is subjects were given a cheddar cheese sandwich with the same macros and same calories from whole grain bread and cheddar cheese versus a cheddar cheese sandwich made of the Kraft singles from America, you know, like the mini cheddars.
Yeah.
The sandwich is made of the mini cheddars. Mm-hmm. Same calories, same macros. But the study was, how did they utilize the energy? What effects it had on their metabolism? What effects it had on their like energy and performance afterwards? And they were both completely different. So a calorie isn't a calorie. No. But if you switch that to a placebo effect, then when we're thinking about the foods that we eat, if you notice, sometimes you'll eat a pizza or have an off-plan meal in a prep, and you'll say to yourself, I'm going to have so much energy, I'm going to train like a monster tomorrow. And you'll have the best workout in the world.
Yeah.
For a short amount of time until you think, oh, God, I can't wait for another pizza. And I do think a large amount of that is just the mindset and the way you think about what you've just eaten and how that transcends then into the actions that lead following it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. The placebo effect. I think I've gone through it personally with Magic Eye, with the business of like thinking a certain way. It's like the you put out good energy, you get good energy back.
Yeah.
Similar. It's on I mean, obviously it's not exactly the same, but it's on a similar kind of thought pattern. I think putting that out, you get it in. So obviously you're putting out that you've got all this energy from the meat feast that you ate last night, and then obviously you're feeling that in the gym. And I think with Magic Eye, with sometimes like when you get a little bit neggy about things, like certain things piss you off. This could be in life in general as well. Certain things will piss you off, and then you kind of start thinking negatively, and then before you know it, you're like, oh my God, I can't get out of this rut that I'm in, this mental rut. But I've found that when I've had that, I've kind of pulled myself out of it quickly, because if you focus on something, it'll swallow you up, and then you get more negative about it.
Yeah.
And I think when I've started thinking more positively about things, thinking, oh, look at the position you're in, look at who you're working with, look at the work that's coming your way, you're in a wicked position.
Yeah.
And then it can spiral and lead you to a bit more of a positive mindset with things.
100%.
And the same thing with the placebo thing.
Yeah. It goes down to like things like supplements as well. Chris Tuttle was on a podcast with him recently. He was talking about a friend at university or college, whatever it's called in the States. And he wanted to start some anadrol, some NAT50s. And at the time he was like, I don't really want my mate using these, but I'll pretend to get them for him. And it's an anadrol tub, and he like put amino acids or something in the tub, like vitamin C or something. And he says for that week he was taking these pills, and he didn't tell him till the end of the week that they were fake, but for that week he was hitting PRs, he was stronger than ever, and his mannerisms and actions were just completely different.
Yeah.
Like he was confident, and he was like, oh, I'm getting so much bigger, I feel so much stronger. And it was literally the placebo effect that he thought he was taking the NAT50s.
Let's be honest, most of the supplements, supplements out there on the market, they're not going to be what they say they are. So what you just said there, when I speak to like guys in the local guys in the gym and that, and they said, oh yeah, I've started this, and I'm feeling great, I'm doing this and that. It's like, oh, maybe it's you're onto something.
I think so. I think the mind is so powerful that if you can learn to tap into that, you're going to find bodybuilding a lot easier, but you're going to find life, business, everything kind of progresses.
Yeah.
Because what holds people back is that negative mindset.
Negative mindset. On the weekend, actually, we put our decorations up.
Yeah.
On, what day was it? Saturday. She warned me like 3 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
That's the day we're going out for the tree and all this. If she had dropped it on me like Friday that we're doing that Saturday, I probably would have been, I got all this fucking shit to do. But because we'd planned it, we had such a nice day Saturday. Went out, bought the tree, bought a load of decorations, got up the ladder, put the lights up on the house, and it was just a real like positive Christmassy vibe to it. Whereas I know for a fact that Carla knows this, if she's watching this, probably not, but if she had dropped that on me, and I would have probably just been, I need to fucking train, I need to do my work. But obviously I cleared everything out so we could just go and do that. But it leads on to a lot of things in life. That positive mindset thing. 100%. What do you think about, as we're on like this topic of like the superstition thing, we chatted about like I've had a thing for the last couple of years where I keep on seeing 11:11, and we spoke about the times and stuff, but the book, The Gift, have you heard the book, The Gift?
I've heard of it, I've not read it.
It's a bit of, I remember I said it to my mate, I've started listening to the Gift audiobook on my drives. I didn't finish it, but he's like, oh mate, that's a bit of a chick flick book. It's like you're women reading about the gift and that. But then I've seen a couple of other people, I think Joe Ballinger was one of them I spoke to about it, and he's talking about all this, putting out good energy, getting good energy back, and seeing this 11:11 supposedly means something. I haven't looked into it fully, but I do see 11:11 a lot, and I know you see times as well. Would you say you're a superstitious person in that respect, or? In
some things, definitely. Like I can't finish a set on rep 13.
Oh, we know that.
I'm superstition about 13.
I've seen you finish it on 13 and it pisses you off.
Get pissed off, if it does happen.
Just going to crank my rain up.
Bless you. Numbers on the TV. Like, I don't like putting the volume up on an odd number. But then the only odd number I can land on is a 5. Because to me, that's like a solid... Halfway house.
Same, mate.
Yeah?
100%.
Things like that, for sure. I mean... At school, when you walked to school, did you used to have, the electric cable boxes on the floor, like the slates or whatever they're called, what they open up?
Yeah.
So they come in like 1s, 2s, and 3s.
Don't walk over 3.
Don't walk over on a 3 one.
No.
Don't use the middle bug at the school.
Didn't have that one.
Well, apparently, if you pissed in the middle bug at school, you was gay.
Right. Okay.
So that was called the gay bug.
Nice.
So obviously, as younger people at school, before you grow up. That was something that we was told not to do. So I am superstitious. Black cats. When you see a black cat, you got to kick it or chuck soil at it. Not really. I'm only joking. For the animal lovers out there, that's only a joke.
Magpies is another one.
Magpies. Salute the magpie.
Salute the magpies.
You still do it as well?
I still fucking do it, yeah.
Go like this in the car in the mist, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I just saw a magpie. Oh, you're so sad.
the walking under a ladder.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you probably can't fucking walk under a ladder, let's be fair.
Yeah.
The poor fella up top will be on the fucking deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd say I'm pretty superstitious. What about trunks and stuff? Have you got like, when you're competing, have you got like lucky trunks, or did you, or have you got anything?
I remember I used to have like things I called lucky pants. Yeah. And I had some shorts. I think I've thrown them away now. But these shorts I had since I met Katie. And they were called the Old Faithfuls. You know, something that just like, you feel good in, fits nice.
Were they full of holes on the...
They didn't have holes, but they're really short.
Yeah.
You can imagine as my legs have got bigger over the years, these shorts have got smaller.
Yeah, yeah.
Look like they've been shrunk in the
More
wash.
splits in them at the sides.
Yeah. So, I don't know, all this stuff, whether it's right or it's wrong, I do believe that the summary of it is if you believe in it, if you believe it to be true, then I think it's helpful to the actions within your body. The chemicals and everything it changes. 11:11. Yeah, that, you know, just that you've seen that 11:11 today on that phone just now.
Yeah,
might make you think today's going to be a good day.
Yeah, sometimes I think to myself when I see it, it's like everything's working as it should be.
Yeah.
In life, whatever I'm doing in that moment, that day, or what the decisions I've made leading up to that day, or whatever, everything's moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
So just keep doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Going back to what you said as well about Carla giving you notice for things and you being able to plan.
Yeah.
I think that is key to being successful in not just bodybuilding, but as I said, in life and business as well. Because the ability to plan is what's going to allow you to pass, not fail. As a coach, I have so many people come to me. Obviously, check-in day this week was a write-off. I was busy at work. I missed my meals, blah, blah, blah. Every single time, the answer to that kind of statement is, you didn't plan. You didn't plan your days. You didn't plan your week. If you knew you was going to be busy, you plan accordingly. In certain cases, I'll have my clients take shakes to work instead of meals because they can drink a shake, no excuse that they're going to miss a shake. Yeah. But if they don't take the shake to work or the meals to work and they got to go to the Sainsbury's or whatever to macro track, which is a different story for another day, then they're likely to miss or not miss, maybe just not have what they should do to eat. No. I found that at the moment in this phase of me travelling all around doing all my shoots, compared to when I was travelling around in prep doing all my shoots. Because on prep, I didn't skip a beat. Meals were prepped. I've got a couple of meals with me today, but in terms of like me being as like anal as, you know, following my meal plan and have my meals there, they were all there in prep, no excuses. Now obviously a bit of more flexibility, so there's the order drive through. But yeah, no, it's true, and like it proves the testament is there for what happened in the preps when you're on it. Yeah, you know, you're not going to fail. Like, what happens as well when you're not planned and you are rushing and you're missing meals, stress is immediately elevated. So again, we talk about chemicals released in the body, cortisol, etc. If you're stressed, your digestion is going to be upset because your body is dealing with other mechanisms in the body that's going on, and it's not allowed to concentrate on just relaxing and digesting your food. So digestion will be upset, which then leads on to you being stressed through the day because you can feel your body's not digesting the food properly. That will knock on into performance in the gym. That will knock on into results. Same as if you're stressed in your job. It's going to probably make you less productive. You make mistakes. You probably have arguments at work. Yeah. So you can tell how, or see how planning full knock-on effect. F everything up. It is a full-on knock-on effect, isn't it? And then that will lead to shit in the house by the time you get home from whatever you're doing all day. Then you're in a shitty mood, which I'm sure we've both been in when we get home from a day like that. And then the missus has it. And then you end up going to bed not fucking speaking. And then it's like... Yeah, and not having any, you know. That's not good sometimes. If it's been a week and you're on a promise and then you fuck the promise up and not planning, you got to plan. Yeah, speak for yourself, mate. Wow. Yeah. Jay, so that's called rape. I mean, let's say rape on the podcast. I say it twice. Rapey bastard. Rapey bastard. Social media. Yeah.
Been a drug.
I think it definitely is.
I was this year, mate. I've seen so many people going through ups and downs on their Facebook statuses, and the fact that they feel they need to
air it.
It's like the addictiveness to actually get that attention back is ridiculous at the moment.
Some people are just so hungry for validation. We spoke about validation on the last one.
Yep.
But if I could like pinpoint one person right here, just as an example.
Oh shit.
Because you messaged me like earlier in the week, have you seen this?
I know where you're going now. Yeah, go on.
And I was like, oh, not again. This is the same thing that happened in April. So basically, Victor Black is just a prime example of what we're going to speak about now.
Yeah.
Who is a person with a good level of knowledge who is, I think got a decent or had a decent following. But I believe if he continues down this path, he's just going to keep alienating people, pushing people away.
He's doing a Kanye West, mate.
Yeah, he's just obviously seeking so much validation. It comes across desperate by bringing up situations from the past, trying to out people, trying to prove points, trying to be this I don't give a F attitude. But have you ever noticed that the people who say I don't give a F, they're the ones who give a F more than anyone?
Massively give a fuck,
Yeah. So there is a huge part of society. That's just one example. Poor Joanne on a settee at home that does a 9 to 5 in an office and hasn't really got, a social media following, might have 200 friends on Instagram and sees these big accounts. Because let's be honest, we all scroll.
Yeah.
Katie's on TikTok every night watching the things and that. And,
yeah.
A lot of us, and I've done this before as well, we'll sit there and we'll watch someone's channel and we'll say, what have they got that I haven't, apart from 1 million or 2 million followers?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just as, this is not me speaking now, but I'm just as good looking, I'm just as funny.
Definitely
not me speaking.
Definitely him speaking.
I'm just as good and skillful as the thing that they're doing on this TikTok. Yeah. But they've got 2 million followers and I've got 1,000, and they get 3 million views or likes and I get 100. So we compare ourselves to everyone all the time.
Bit of jealousy creeps in massively.
Yeah.
The green-eyed monster.
And have you realised that different platforms are bad in different ways? Like I find Facebook, I don't go on Facebook anymore, but Facebook is like a soap opera.
Yeah, I came off it around the time of COVID. I came off there because it was like going back to the negative mindset and seeing all these statuses about people being ill, people passing away, seeing that constantly.
Yeah.
And then, but like I came off it. I did go back on, but I think me coming off, when you were probably at that point with Facebook where you were constantly like going on there and just scrolling randomly, not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
I got out of that like wormhole.
Yeah.
Of like scrolling Facebook aimlessly when I came off it, because when I go back on it now, I don't really go on there at all. But the statuses you see off people is like, like Sharon working 9 till 5, and she put something on it. I can't believe he's done this again.
Yeah.
With leaving my kids without this and that, and then someone will say, "Oh, what's he done? DM me, hun.
Ring me.
Ring me. DM me, hun."
Yeah, the attention seeking on Facebook particularly was like crazy, and it's so much negativity on there. Like you say, steer away from that, because that's going to just send signals to your mind that's going to bring you down with it.
Yeah.
Let's bring down the Titanic with Sharon, who hates Steve because he's not come home from work. He's gone to the pub with his mates and had 2 pints.
No offense to any Sharons watching, but what I think with the other social media platforms, it's creeping in on there as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think people on Instagram have the ability really to moan as much, because it's a picture, isn't it? The picture captures the attention. A lot of the time, people don't even read the status.
No. Especially with these people that are putting mental essays on their captions.
There's no need for that, is there? Or there's no place for it, I don't think, anymore, because we live in a culture where people are in a rush. People want the information quick.
And I think people think that they need to put these massive long essays on as well.
Yeah.
Searching for, like, as if someone is going to really care about the ins and outs.
I know, yeah.
I've put my, the odd long thing when it's appropriate, but you see people putting endless like essays of like what they've done this week, or even just like they put a check-in picture up, and then they put this big spiel off. It's like, wow, do you think people actually care that much? I'm not sure.
No.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
I think everyone's got an audience, and you have to think, well, why does my audience follow me? And I'm not an educator, really. I've got some great educational content, and I've got a lot of knowledge, but I'm not going to start writing essays and bullet points of why this exercise is the best because of this tension point and angle and whatever else.
Yeah.
People just aren't going to listen. I'm a visual learner as well. I like to watch things. So I think the way you like to do things is the way you kind of probably do things in a learning capacity for other people as well.
Yeah.
So I like to show people videos. I did a video on a bench press this week, and I need to do a follow-up video to that to explain what my views were, because I was on the podcast with Milos and Chris Tuttle, and they asked me the question, because I was speaking about doing the flat bench press and chasing reps.
Yeah.
Trying to get this 20 reps on 140 kilos. You obviously was a witness to, I think, 16 last time, wasn't it?
16, yeah.
So we're trying to creep up 17, 18, 19, 20. And Melis was like, yeah, but that's just like going back to what you were saying, what's negative about progressive overload and logbooking, because you're chasing the number, not the feel. So surely, his argument was, it would be better to try and fail quicker in a fewer reps, because every rep then essentially is better, more target on a working muscle, accurate, etc. So I was like, do you know what? I see your point, and I got lost in chasing 20, even though I've been putting out the message of you shouldn't really get lost in the numbers of the logbook and whatever else.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, you caught me out.
Kind of contradicting yourself.
Yeah, a little bit.
In the post that you're not trying to say it, you actually ended up saying it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to fess up to that. And again, placebo effect, a huge thing with your training. Even though that flat bench might not be perfectly executed, and I might be chasing numbers a little bit, if you enjoy doing the exercise, and this is why I have a huge belief on my clients choose an exercise they enjoy. So if the training plan I write them isn't quite right for them, we'll manipulate it to the exercise that they enjoy doing and feel good. Because listen, if an exercise feels good and you enjoy it, the placebo effect of that's going to be massive.
Yeah, huge.
To the progression.
Yeah.
But going back to obviously the scenario of how to lift, how many reps, blah, blah, blah. I put those two videos up. So one's really quite quick, and I think it's 16 reps. One's very controlled, and it's 8 reps. Both sets are both 36 seconds long. So both very similar, identical, nearly time and attentions. And I actually think by looking at those two videos that a middle ground between the two is where I would deem perfect. So I think with the 140 kilos, my target rep range at the minute would be around 12, with slightly better form than the 16 set, but not as perfect as the 8.
Yeah.
Because it's another thing. This is what they were saying, and I'm sure we've spoke about it before, but people these days, because of all the videos and information out there on Instagram and whatever else, people are trying to be too perfect.
Yeah. And
what happens when you're too perfect?
It's
again, you end up lifting nothing.
Lifting nothing. Again, it's like that paralysis by analysis.
Yeah,
similar thing. But it's been murdered on Instagram at the minute with the people with doing like the lat pull down.
Yeah.
Last weekend they were up in Durham. Did you see the video of
James they put like different things on.
They had like a million things on the pull down, like a shaker with some wraps and a band, and I've seen him doing. Seen him sitting on like a Henry Hoover doing it as well. Have you seen that?
I've not seen that one.
It's funny. Like
I know Amph loves it, doesn't he?
He loves it. I mean, he doesn't mean any bad by it.
Yeah.
He's just having a crack because he just sees so many people just not going at it and training hard, and it's
so true.
When these guys have been in the game as long as they have, and then they're seeing all this stuff happen, but they never had to do that stuff. Yeah. It's got to be frustrating, isn't it?
I think so. I think there's no getting away from the wheel is fucking round. you'll never create a different shaped wheel that works better than that round wheel.
Yeah.
So the older school bodybuilders, when they start saying old school is the best, this and that, blah, blah, yeah, we've heard it 1,000 times, it's a bit boring, but a lot of the things they did is true.
Yeah.
Hard training.
Yeah.
Lifting a lot of weight with a fuckload of intensity. Then you got to back that up with the food.
Yeah.
And the rest and everything else. There ain't really much more to it.
It's fucking very simple.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
So when you're on about exercise selection and angle for this, angle for that, I'm not surprised a lot of these guys that follow the trend up and coming these days aren't growing.
Yeah.
Because you see a load of lads now that are into the training and girls, but their progression is very, very like shallow. When you start training, the first year you start training, your progression should be like that, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're not really thinking about anything rather than going to gym, enjoying it and lifting weights.
And fucking yourself up so you feel like you've trained.
Yeah, yeah. And even if your diet's like fucking mine, chips, potatoes, like chips and pizza, and it was at the time CMP masking, strawberry flavour with full fat milk.
I thought you were talking about your diet now.
It's just chips and pizza once a week, not every day, with red sauce all over the top. Yeah, my diet was shit, but the thought process into training really was just literally that, enjoying going to the gym, training. I've seen someone in the gym bench pressing 20 kilo dumbbells on flat bench, and I was like, wow. That's like Hulk.
I remember my...
You know?
Yeah, I remember
I'll never be able to do that shit. But I'm going to try. So you get the 20s up and it's like, okay, 25s, 30s, 35s, 40. Which, might be deemed as progressive overload nowadays. But there wasn't that focus on being absolutely clinically perfect.
Look at... I'm going to shout out Kiffy West.
Yeah.
Incredible. And... the guy, he put a post up yesterday, looking at his Instagram grid, because he put like a couple of sets from each of his days up.
Yeah.
And he labelled them like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I think he'd gone back in on squats or something. I'm not sure on the exact movement, but like on the Monday and then back in on a Thursday.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy doesn't take rest days. He just trains constantly.
Right.
And he's obviously progressing massively as a natural athlete as well. And he was like, and you're saying you can't recover. And I think the recovery thing is highlighted too much these days as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like obviously you need your recovery, but I think that again with the movements being overanalyzed, the recovery thing is being overanalyzed because I'm feeling a bit shit today. I'm going to take a day off.
Yeah. Again, let's go back to placebo effect a minute. If you're doing a training split and you're feeling tired, you start to kind of send messages to your brain. The placebo effect is we need a rest.
Yeah.
So you need to take a rest at that point because you told yourself you need to take a rest.
Yeah.
Really, do you need to take a rest? Because I had a few chats with myself on prep. Like, am I tired mentally or physically? Do I actually need to rest, or do I just need to grab my balls and say you're going to the fucking gym today?
Just get it fucking done, innit?
Yeah.
Just get it done. If we all stopped when we felt a little bit tired, I would never fucking train.
No.
Because I'm always tired.
Yeah.
But I would never train if I thought that way. Yeah. And I fucking hate rest days anyway, I'll be honest. You know that from when we've worked together. It's like a rest day for me. I've got rest days planned in at the moment. Getting warm.
Yeah, hot, man.
Getting hot.
Oh my God.
You want Clen in a minute?
Only 40. Not really.
Sprinkled on a cereal.
Yeah.
But yeah, the even rest days now, I'm supposed to have 2 rest days a week, but one of them is like it's an arm day.
Yeah.
I'm just going in and having a bit of a pumpy arm day just to go and do something. But the over-analyzation of rest days and training, it's got to stop.
And I think that goes back to how you train. Because if you're doing this progressive overload format at the minute, essentially, I believe, this is my personal view, essentially that is more based on really powerlifting style of training. Because a powerlifter wants to increase strength and increase load as one of the primary cursors for their progression. What happens is when we start increasing load as a primary focus is we increase load on the joints, on the ligaments and tendons, and obviously the muscles, but our joints get a hammering from the heavy load.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you need a rest, because your body does feel beat up. And the older you get, the less impact you can withstand. So I was training in prep 6 days a week. I was lifting heavy, But it was comparative to the volume. The volume was higher, so the load was slightly less. In my opinion, it's a healthier way to train, less risk, and the body is getting a huge amount of frequency and exposure to work each week. But you're recovering because each body part is getting ample rest. You're not getting the CNS, the neurological, overwork from the heavy duty lifting. So, and I think that's why these guys need to rest more as well, because they're hammering the CNS from this constant abuse of load. But main thing for me, main message as always, is placebo effect for training. You have to enjoy the way you train. Somebody in the questions has said they're addicted to logbooking. If that's the case, that's the way you enjoy training.
Yeah.
Make progress that way. There is no right or wrong way.
No, you just got to find what is, as a coach, you probably, the right plan, you've heard this a million times, the right plan for someone is the one that works for them.
Yeah.
And it's exactly the same, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Logbook was I lived and died by the logbook for 18 months, but then my travelling wasn't as mad as it is now. And now with the travelling that I'm doing in different gyms, I remember a point where I was trying to logbook and I trained in 5 different gyms in a week because I was that busy with shoots.
Yeah.
And I was it fucked my head because I was trying to use the Watson pendulum, I think it was in Prophecy, compared to the Atlantis pendulum at home.
Yeah.
And Watson kit is fucking
it's
heavy, innit?
Yeah.
So, and I remember the Atlantis pendulum was up to 5 plates or something at that time. And I was warming up on the Watson. I was on 3 plates and I was like, oh fuck, I think I'm working, And then I fucked my head up, so the logbook went.
Yeah.
And I've said this on my own channel. When you're seasoned enough as someone that trains, you can gauge your warm-ups and kind of where your working weight is for that rep range. So,
when you're trying hard, and as an experienced trainer, when you're near that failure point, and it's just about going in there, isn't it, and training as hard as you can.
I tell you what else is hard on the joints: driving all these fucking miles. Because my left knee at the moment from the clutch, I need an automatic car.
You got manual?
Yeah. Oh, I went automatic.
Yeah.
I'm never going back to manual.
Yeah.
Bought my new car and I was like, it's manual, is it? I'll go on and I'll fucking take it. And mate.
When you're doing the miles, mate, it's key, innit?
It's killing me in a minute, so I'm going to have to switch that up. But we went to Tunisia, didn't we, last weekend?
Yeah.
Oscar,
tell me a story. Have we not? I'm not
no,
we haven't.
We can end the podcast on my story if you want.
Yeah.
But just shout out to Oscar for paying for extra leg room because it bloody hell,
it makes a difference.
Made a difference on the old EasyJet.
Yeah.
So Tunisia, Oscar smashed it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Looked awesome.
Came 6th, didn't he?
Came 6th.
Wicked.
Yeah. First call outs. Hayder looked amazing as well. He came top of second call out.
Yeah.
But it was a strong lineup. And if I'm honest, he could probably have placed a little bit higher as well.
Yeah.
I think he should have been in that first call out.
Yeah.
But anyway, good trip. The boys smashed it. They had to listen to our voices all weekend while I was editing the podcast.
Really?
In between all the other edits,
Nice.
So coming back, we had a taxi, got stopped by armed police going into the airport.
Right.
Took our passports off us.
What?
We got me in the back, Oscar in the front, and then this taxi driver that's not legally allowed to go outside of Tunis, which is the capital.
Yeah.
Because for some reason you can only go outside of Tunis if you're a certain kind of driver or whatever.
Yeah.
So he actually took his taxi thing off the cab and put it in his boot. Stopped by armed police. They took the guy in the office, Oscar sitting in the front. Now Oscar's originally from Kenya, and he's like, this isn't good. If they take our passports, we are fucking screwed.
Really?
So we were there now sweating for 10 minutes. Came back, give us our passports. It's like sound, but the taxi driver's still not back.
Yeah.
He comes back 5 minutes later. Didn't really speak great English, so I'm not sure what he said, but I'm pretty sure he got bribed by the police.
Oh, right.
I'm pretty sure. So we got dropped off at the airport.
Yeah.
As we're walking in, the guy that saw us arrive in Tunisia, who asked us a million questions when we first arrived there, was really intrigued. I think because Oscar booked an airport which was outside, it was like an hour away from where we were staying, so it was a quite quiet airport. So I don't think they see a lot of different kind of people coming through there.
Right.
So they were really intrigued. You know, they had this professional bodybuilder, you had a cameraman. They were like, oh. Yeah. So they were asking us a million questions. So the same guy, when we got back to the airport, was there. And he was like, oh, my friends, how are you? Yeah. How was the competition? Did you get good films? And all this stuff. So like, yeah. So we were showing him pictures and stuff like that of Oscar. So we go and sit down, me and Oscar, eating our donuts, because obviously we picked up a few snacks for the way back. And then a guy in a suit comes across. And he's like, professional? And we were like, yeah. We thought he was just coming to ask questions. He was like, cameraman? Yeah. Where's your crew? I was like, there's no crew. I am the crew.
Yeah.
Where's all your cameras? I was like, in the bag. Oh, right. Come with me. So I take my bag, goes and opens bag. He's like, well, camera? Yeah. Going through all my bag. Asked me a million questions. This was like 25 minutes long.
What?
Around the corner. Oscar's like sitting there now,
way.
Eating my donuts. And in the end, it got to a point. He was like, he bodybuilder? Yeah. You bodybuild? I'm like, no, just cameraman. Yeah, you bodybuild. Squeezing me and that. I'm like, yeah, for fun. I'm professional and for fun. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, is that all good? No problems? He's like, yes. Another man come in. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, so I'm sweating now. He's got my passport as well at this point.
Oh, no.
So we're waiting for like 10 minutes. And then he's like, right, come with me. So he put my bag on my shoulder. We walk past Oscar. Oscar's like looking at me like, is everything all right?
8 donuts deep.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know, mate.
No
I was
way.
like, I'll let you know. So we go like downstairs, round the back of the airport, down all these corridors to like this main office. There's a guy sitting there at a big desk, full suited up, like the main guy.
Like a major.
Yeah, so I'm like, fuck. So I go and shake his hand in it, just to kind of show, I'm pleasant or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're talking, pointing at the bag. I hear the word camera a couple of times. So we go back out, rips my bag apart, taking everything out of there, asking me what I am, what I've been doing, why was I in Tunisia like 7 years ago.
Yeah?
I was like with my wife and my daughter on holidays.
No way.
They grilled me, mate. Obviously they had all that shit go on with the shooting on the beach, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which was a year after I went. So grilled me, took all my camera stuff apart, and then asking me like tablets. I had like aspirins and paracetamols and stuff.
Oh my God.
I was like, for headaches, because I'm always working, no sleep.
Yeah.
You don't sleep? Asking me loads of questions. In the end, it must have been about 45 minutes. They let me go. Well, so they let me go back to Oscar. So we're going through all the passport control then, and they're all making a big song and dance of Oscar. He's having pictures with him, tensing for him and all this stuff. And I'm like, mate, you just fucking... My arse was in my mouth for like 45 minutes. So I'm not sure what it was. I'm putting it down to just being really, really nosy.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
Yeah.
That was squeaky bum time, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Squeaky bum time.
They had you down for that killing 7 years ago then. They were thinking you were involved.
They recognised me from the beach.
Yeah.
Mad.
Welshman with an AK-47. Dangerous.
It was. But yeah, that was my little story.
Oh, man.
Squeaky bum time, honestly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
There's nothing controlling that stress either.
No.
That's a stressful situation.
No. So those donuts went down after that, trust me.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my trip to Tunisia.
Freaking hell. That's mad. You don't want another trip like that.
No.
You travel a lot with obviously competitors, don't you? And I think
this year's been a good year for travelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did Toronto, Dubai.
What's Toronto like? Because that shows...
The show was terrible.
Yeah.
Lovely city, beautiful.
Yeah.
I haven't been to New York, but everyone says it's like a chilled out New York.
Right.
But the show was like, everyone that I know from over there, like Dorian and I were there.
Yeah.
We spoke to them. I say I know them. I don't know Dorian, but who they are. Everyone from that area said that It was in a different venue. It was a lot smaller than it usually is. I remember the backdrop had fallen down onto the competitors on the stage and everything. Not when our guy was up there, but yeah, it wasn't a great show. Not from what you've heard of the Toronto show.
Yeah.
But it was a lovely city. But yeah, it's been a good year for travelling, mate. It's been a good.
Nice.
I just haven't got the Vegas trip on the cards, which I was hoping for.
Yeah.
So I ended up, instead of Vegas being the last trip of the year, I ended up being grilled by police in Tunisia.
Well, talking about passports as well, I had a panic the other day because I need to book the Esters for Vegas because that Esters expired. I think you get them for 3 years and they expired in November. So I was like, I need to book the Ester. Right, where's the passport? I always keep the passport in my desk drawer or a particular cupboard in the kitchen. Check both places, not there. I'm like, where could it be? So it was one morning this last week, I think it was Monday. The house got tipped upside down. Cases went through, bags, no passports. So I'm like, shit.
Stress levels through the roof.
Immediately I'm thinking, I know it's not me that's lost them. Got to be the wife. It's Katie's fault.
Oh, shit.
But Katie's looking for them with me, and I don't want to say, obviously, where you put them, because it would have started a big argument. Yeah. So I'm thinking, I'm like racking my brains. No, they're not in my bag that I came back with. They're not in the drawers where they should be. And then I started thinking, actually, I booked the flights for Vegas when we got back from Dubai. And I need the passport numbers to book the flights. So they're definitely here. And then I thought, oh shit, I booked through BA and all the information saved with BA, so it just would have automatically put the passport numbers in and everything.
Resaved.
So maybe the passports aren't here. Shit, we're back to square one. I said to Katie, I says, what coat did you have on? She's like, I had my cream blazer. I said, go and check it. So she goes upstairs. She goes, I've got him.
No way.
They're in the blazer. Well, I was like, how did she end up with the passports in the blazer? Because you know when you have a person on a trip that keeps everything?
Yeah.
I'm normally that guy.
In like a man bag?
They'll go in a man bag with the tickets, the boarding passes, etc. She had the fucking passports in a blazer pocket.
Lucky you didn't lose them, innit? Really, because it could have fallen out of a blazer jacket.
She says, I don't know whether the passport would wash well, but she would normally have washed the jacket and she didn't wash it.
Yeah.
God knows. But anyway, we got them.
Well, saying about lost things, I actually lost my phone in Tunisia as well.
Really?
Yeah, I'm normally really good with my shit, like.
Yeah.
But I don't know what joggers I had on, but I was in the taxi on the way to the show.
Yeah.
Me and Oscar. Oscar's obviously trying to remain as chilled as possible. Show day. We get out the cab. We weren't even sure that we were in the right place because where we were in Tunisia wasn't the greatest. Yeah. And the guys we were with, like Callum and Ada and Hannah, we were all like, fuck, no, this is an experience. So got out the cab, got to this venue, spotted Callum, Ada and Hannah. So we're all chatting. I'm like, Oscar can see me doing this.
Oh, no.
And Oscar is like, he's more concerned about you than himself.
Yeah.
He's like, what's your phone? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh no, mate. So luckily there was a guy there that had, because the data charges in Tunisia are mental. Yeah. Me and Oscar had like a £51 charge on a bill within 5 minutes of landing. Yeah, £7.50 a megabyte or some shit. So we were on airplane mode for most of it. Yeah. But a guy had hotspot, so we were able to. Oscar was able to jump onto the guy's hotspot because we were using this app for the taxis. Get the taxi guy's number, ring him. Hayder obviously spoke the same language as this guy, luckily.
Oh, right, wicked.
So Hayder spoke to him, came back, and he had my phone. No. How lucky was that?
That's very lucky.
Because Oscar was like, mate, that's your life, that's your work, that's everything. And it is. But at the time, I wasn't like, I was trying not to stress about it because obviously it's show day, I'm late to do a job. So I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just get a new phone when I'm home.
Wow.
You know, just pass it to one side. But we've probably gone over 60 minutes here with our chatting, I would have thought.
I'm sure we started at 11, it's like 43 minutes past.
Really?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
44 minutes, yeah?
So before I forget, my memory's terrible these days. You get older, memory gets shit. So while they're on the forefront of my mind, one is helping people reduce stress on show day. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is data charges abroad.
Let's do it.
Because this is two great points. Phone data charges, I've realised this year from travelling, because at one point Europe was all free, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now it's changed. So some countries you'll get free, some you won't. But you will get smashed on data charges. I did the same in Dubai. But if you ring up your network provider in advance and say, for example, going to Dubai or going to Tunisia, you can buy a massive bundle for like 10 quid for the month.
Right, okay.
It costs 10 quid. But like you said, it can cost you like 20, 30, 40 quid a day.
Mad, yeah.
On data, but you end up like not using it, because if you used the actual data, you'd probably be in the hundreds of pounds a day. Because Katie did it on her phone. She got 7.5 megabytes or something. She literally turned it on and put the address in for the place we was going on a map, iMaps or whatever. It was gone. The date was gone. She's like, how could it go? But I think there's that many things working in the background of your phone that's using data.
Yeah.
Your data gets slammed.
I think I had something on for Dubai. I think it was like a maximum of... Oscar was the guy that got me on that, actually.
Yeah.
I think it was maximum of like £5 a day in Dubai.
Yeah.
So we were there for like 6 days. So it was like,
Yeah.
what's that? Do the math. 25 to 30 quid?
Yeah.
£30 for a
But I remember when I went to America for 3 weeks,
Yeah.
I didn't do it before I got there, and I was like, whoa, I need to sort this shit out. So I managed to ring Orange while I was away, or
Yeah.
Orange. I say Orange all the time.
Orange?
EE. I used to be on Orange, and I say Orange all the time.
Showing your age.
Yeah.
It's on BT Cellnet.
Orange, O2. O2 still about?
Yeah, I'm on O2.
Yeah, so Orange, fucking hell. EE.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Orange Wednesdays.
So I rang Orange Wednesdays, yeah. I rang EE while I was in Vegas, and they put a bundle on my account. Cost me 10 quid for the whole month.
Yeah, that's banging, isn't it?
And I got unlimited data, really. So, yeah. Plan in advance.
With the amount of travelling you did this year as well, you need to be on top of that shit. 'Cause
Yeah.
it could cost you a fortune.
Just a quick call, 150 before you go. Yeah, I'm going abroad, blah, blah, sort my data out, happy days. So that's the one thing. And then I have heard this story so many times, so I'm going to help a lot of people. And you may have been a victim of this yourself, Jay. But let's say it's show day morning.
Yeah.
And your coach ain't got back to you. And you're thinking, what the fuck do I eat? And you're stressing on show day. The most important day to reduce stress. You're stressing because your coach ain't got back to you. Listen, shit happens. Whether it's your coach's fault or not, simple thing to do is you will have eaten a diet for 16, 20 weeks. There would have been meals on that diet which are super, super safe meals to have, i.e. a protein and fat breakfast. Most people will have protein and fat breakfast when they get into that body fat dropping state, because, you know, protein and fats in the morning, I believe, are a great way to start the day hormonally and for your metabolism to extend the period really of fasting and fat burning rather than chucking carbs straight in. But show day morning, you've already had probably 2 days of loading carbs. You should have a good handle on what you've been eating on prep. So just make it simple. Take the stress off yourself and just eat a few of your prep meals that are safe. You can't really fuck up by show day. If you're not lean enough or you're not ready for the show, something's happened way before that.
Yeah.
You're not ready for a reason.
You're not going to fix it on show morning, yeah.
And stressing's only going to make it worse.
Yeah.
So don't wait for your coach to get back to you. You know, I mean, wait if it's going to be 10, 20 minutes. But if an hour's passed and your coach ain't got back to you, you need to eat, because you need to go and get your tan done. If you're a girl, you need to go and get your makeup and your hair, and you've got all these things planned in. I mean, what I would do for a client in that case as well, if they've got a busy morning on show day, I would get their plan ready in advance and send it to them, subject to change, because obviously it's going to be based on how you look in that situation.
Yeah.
But, you know, Jay, the manipulation will be very minor. If you've got 5 rice cakes and I think you're full enough, well, okay, we might need 3, but not 5. Same as if you're flat, we'll just add food to it. And take around carbohydrates, fats, proteins that you can literally make up meals with.
Yeah.
So your rice cakes, for example, if I need 80 grams of carbs for a meal, you've got 80 grams of carbs from rice cakes. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
The same foods you've used for 16, 20 weeks.
Yeah.
Don't go throwing mad shit in the mix on the last day.
The worst thing you can do is 1, stress, and 2, not eating.
Yeah.
Put in the same foods that you've been eating in your diet. Take the stress off you. And if it's been 2 hours, then you can start giving your coach a real, you know, effing and jeffing session, because they aren't doing the job. But like I say, shit happens. And being prepared for shit to happen is going to reduce stress and make you look even better on the show day.
think positively. You won't stress out. Placebo effect.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I'm sure we mentioned on a previous podcast that, like anything in life, the more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah.
So the more we bodybuild, the more competitions we do, the better we are at handling stress, the better we know how to deal with these situations.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, I pretty much do my own diets now, and I send them to Milos for review.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they'll say, no, you need more food. And sometimes they say, a lot of the time, you're right, I'm happy. The food sources you've chosen and how you've spaced out the carbs and you've changed the proteins and this and that. That camera's just died. Which is 50 minutes. Little bugger.
Wide angle's gone. It's fine.
Wide angle's gone.
Business as usual.
We're used to this by now. But yeah, I'm good at doing my own diets, and that's come with experience.
Mm-hmm.
So we were saying about relationships.
Yeah.
About the struggle of a relationship. And each time we do this, it'll get better. It'll get easier. So yeah, in terms of handling stress, I think there's no bigger way to learn and combat that than experience.
Yeah.
So just stick with it, whatever it is.
There it is. We end on that note, ending? That note?
Yeah, well, if it's a pre-Olympia episode, we've got 10 minutes to give our Olympia predictions.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm going to ask you your top 5 off the bat.
I did this the other day with one of the boys.
Yeah?
So to save time, I'm going to go into my text.
Yeah.
And I'm going to read off what I actually said. Because I think I was off the mark as well a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because this lineup is so strong.
Oh, my God, it's crazy.
No matter who your top guys are,
yeah,
you're going to miss someone out.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go with the same. Rami.
Yep.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah.
Hardy. The boy Samson. Hunter.
Yeah, that's a good top 6. That's very good.
But then you can say, where's Bonac?
Yeah.
And then
yeah. See, in my head, Brandon slips out and Bonac comes in because he's looking better, and Brandon in the last few shows hasn't looked like his old self. But then this is where you get lost in social media as well, because you see people's updates and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
But sometimes people's updates look better than they do on stage. So it's like, oh shit, should have stuck with my guns. But I think Rami is a clear winner because I don't think there's anybody that's kind of comparable to him.
Yeah.
Like he's out there on his own in terms of size and shape for his size, because he's not got the best shape, I don't think, because he has got a wide waist, but he's that big, it looks like a smaller waist.
Yeah.
But the thing about Rami that I'm not quite sure about at the minute is the holes in his quads. Because I saw a posing video again the other day, they look worse. Do you know what I mean? On the outer quad, there's a huge indent.
I seen the one post that when everyone was like calling him out on it.
Yeah.
Seen that one post, yeah.
It's not normal.
No.
And to me, that looks just like when you look at Nick Walker's legs and you see the varicose veins. It's an imperfection.
Yeah, an imperfection, yeah.
Just like a pec tear. Like someone get marked down for a pec tear or gyno.
Symmetry, innit?
In my opinion, someone should get marked down for an imbalance, a symmetry issue. That detracts away from the aesthetics of that physique. But I think Rami's won. Second and third, I actually was on a podcast with Dave Palumbo recently, and I said second and third, going to put it out there, shocker, Hunter and Samson.
Yeah.
Because I'm going off in my head what I like, not what I think the judges will choose.
Yeah, you can see it.
Essentially.
You can see it happening.
Yeah.
The Hunter updates. So I think someone did. Ben put a picture up of them side by side, so you can compare how he actually looks in person.
Yeah.
He's deceiving in his pictures because he looks great, obviously. Yeah. But you don't realise how big he is. I've never seen him in person, so.
He's a big guy. He's the right proportions for bodybuilding in terms of height and width and thickness. He's not really lacking anything, and some people mark him down because of that, because he's not got any like standout body parts, because he's got no weaknesses. They're all kind of strengths. Yeah,
because he's very complete.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've seen Samson in person.
Yeah.
Which is just fucking wild. But then that is like a bit of because I've seen it in person.
Yeah.
That's the only person I've kind of seen in person in that lineup.
You can't like gauge him against
Can't
anyone.
gauge him because it's like, fucking hell, this is mad. Seeing in person, but then obviously when you see him on stage, all of them in person, that's when it's gonna.
I think very interesting to see Samson next to Curry.
Yeah.
Very similar aspect physiques, but I think Samson will have him on the legs. Because that's why I don't see Brandon bringing up his legs at this age.
No, not at this age, no.
But I do like Brandon. I just want to put that out there as well. I don't want to alienate anyone. This is like us really with a hard task choosing these people.
Yeah, just shooting the shit.
Everyone's
on who
amazing.
We think.
So I got second and third. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Samson a little bit back because it's his first Olympia.
Okay.
And I think it will still need to add probably £10, and then this year is going to set up for the future 2-3 years for Samson.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's just going to be in the mix for sure. But I'm going to go Ramy, Hunter, Bonac. Then I'm going to go Curry based off past history.
Yeah.
And who he is.
Resume.
Yeah. 5th place Samson, 6th place Nick Walker. People will say, where's Haddy? I'm not a fan of Haddy's physique. He's not in my top 6.
Fair.
Don't send the death threats to my home address. Send them to the gym. It'd be much better there.
So it's an open lineup in it. You just can't. You're going to leave someone out.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to James, because James, obviously our boy from the UK.
You got him, man.
James is looking amazing.
Especially with his trunks that we saw this morning.
We saw the trunks, James.
Post.
I don't know whether they're like dragon fire or something. Something's going off on them trunks. They look good.
James this year is definitely going to smoke what he brought last time. Yeah. And he knows that.
Yeah.
And he knows, we're rooting for him 100% because he's one of the boys.
We could probably finish on what we started, because these boys are going into this, the biggest show of their life.
Yeah.
And what happened to James last year was, I think he succumbed to negative feelings and thoughts and stress. Placebo effect.
Yep.
The way he thought going into that Olympia in the end affected his look.
Mm-hmm.
If he had the opportunity again and approached it from a less stressful, more positive mindset, I think that would have went into his physique and he would have looked better. And he'd probably say that himself. So how these guys are approaching this show in the last 2 to 3 weeks, especially in the last week, is definitely going to impact how the physique looks on that show, on that stage.
Yeah.
So placebo effect heading into a show, that last week is key. Positive thoughts, even to the point where when you're posing in the mirror, smile.
Yeah.
Someone in sales used to say to me, talk with a smile.
Smile and dial.
Yeah. Talk with a smile.
Yeah.
People buy off people they like.
Yeah.
Same with the judges.
You can hear it as well.
Yeah,
I mean, it's nothing to do with posing in the mirror, but you can hear it when someone's smiling on a phone and you're talking to them. You can hear them smiling.
Yeah. I had to pick one of my clients up this week. I had to say, and if you're watching a podcast, because he didn't reply, to be fair.
Oh, shit.
I hope you take it and took it in the nicest possible way.
Constructive.
Every time he sends me a voice note each week for check-in, it sounds depressive. He sounds like he's talking with an upside down smile on his face. That has a knock-on effect to me. But I'm already thinking, if this guy sounds negged out, then that's having a negative effect on his placebo, his physique, everything, his life. So I said to him, this week's check-in, I want you to sound, it sounds a bit weird, but sound excited. Sound more upbeat.
Yeah.
Because I think that's going to help not just you physically, but again, your jobs, your relationships, your friendships, your well-being, your health.
It has a knock-on effect. Everything. It's mad that we've been able to pin so many things to that placebo effect off the back of just one kind of topic. Katie
was listening to the voice note because it was on loud, and she was in the kitchen. She says, "Oh my God." This was 5 minutes long as well, by the way.
Okay.
Poor guy's had a car accident, quite a bad one, and he's recovering now. And he's been with me for like over a year. And I said to him this week, I said, Shaz, I just say his name. I'm sorry to have to say this, and I should have said it much sooner, but I'm saying it now because you're just overcoming this car accident, and I linked the placebo effect to his recovery. You know, someone's recovering from an operation. If they're all doom and gloom, like, oh my God, I'm in a cast. I can't walk. I can't do this. I can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. Negative.
Just hammering yourself into a ground.
That's not going to help your recovery.
No.
But the people who are positive, who get shit done, who hobble around on the crutch, they'll be the ones walking faster, back in the gym faster, progressing faster, telling people who said that you'll never compete again, back on stage saying, F you. I did that because I wanted to prove you wrong, because I had the positive mindset to do it.
Positive mental attitude.
Yeah.
Love that, mate.
Linford Christie. Lunchbox Christie. Can you remember the adverts? PMA.
No.
Positive mental attitude. He had a leotard on.
Was it a song with it or not?
I don't know.
Or am I thinking of something else?
I don't know. Anyway, guys, comment below. Placebo Effects, episode 3.
Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one, which we're about to record.
Peace out.
Peace.